if there was yelling, if there was screaming, just to get an idea. Because whatever mom was feeling during that time becomes your definition of love or your need in order to live your emotional life. And then you're going to do it 0 to 100, and you're obviously doing it 0 because you don't want that. But the silence doesn't allow her. Are you understanding what is going on here? Do we have clarity? How you would start a session with a client using the triad, how you would identify the shadow. The shadow is the aspect of them they don't like, and they are either going to do it the exact same or the exact opposite, usually the exact opposite, so they can make it a pedestal behavior. And our job is to help them integrate that behavior into their life. When they have awareness, remember the Band-Aid? Integration is they integrate the bad bucket. And then what's the D? Band-Aid. Once you help them integrate, once you help them say, okay, I do care about body image, then you have hashtag do it different. And then this, James, is where you teach them new behaviors. But if you start trying to teach someone a new behavior from the beginning, there's no constant behavior change. Behavior change is not going to be consistent. It's going to be a temporary thing like a diet. People need to become aware of why. They need to integrate and know that it's acceptable that they're not a bad person because they're their parents and they're repeating those behaviors or doing it different. And then you teach them how to modify behavior. And behavior change is very, very little. And remember, tendencies don't change, but behaviors do. These are the tendencies. These are the tendencies. That's not changing. What can change about tendency, which really isn't its behavior, is whether or not you put it in the fuck it bucket. Like I put body image. She doesn't have an issue with sarcasm. It doesn't need to go in the fuck it bucket because she already has it in the good bucket. Do we understand what I'm saying? Any questions before we go to the adult? No?
It's a matter of repetition and just.
It is a matter of repetition and listening and listening and listening. Because when you hear bad bucket items, you're going to hear what the person has a conflict with. Our number one goal is to not impart our belief onto that, because that's where we can hurt them. But you are going to listen to an incongruence. Do you remember when I told you about the client that liked thin crust?
Yeah.
And I said, incongruence. We all have incongruencies because there's things about our parents we do not like. That means we don't like certain aspects of self. Let me take a picture and we'll go on to